Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we will be focusing on the week of Upper Egypt, as we will be shedding more light on the activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Upper Egypt on Sunday and in the past 2 or 3 days, as they will be extending into the new year in the upcoming week, as we have the week of Upper Egypt, the development and to be reaching the sustainable development goals of Egypt. It will be starting from Upper Egypt, and the focus for today in this episode will be on Toshka, the land reclamation projects that were inaugurated by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the south of Aswan. We will be having more information about the location of it, about the potential of Toshka, as we did hear about it first of all in 1997, and it was supposed to be fully ended and to be having the end results by 2017. So we'll be seeing about the challenges that took place between 1997 and up till now in 2021, and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the political leadership that has in mind the focus on Upper Egypt and the development and the progress of the citizens in Egypt in general, and for today in Upper Egypt and in Toshka. And to be having more information about this important topic and this important event, I'm honored to be having with me on the Daily Debate for tonight Mr. Khaled Abu Heib, the head of the International Cooperation Committee at the National Council for Strategic Planning. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Pleasure being here.
And Happy New Year as well, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Happy New Year for you.
We will be starting with a report. In the upcoming report, we will be having more information about the activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Upper Egypt in general today, on Sunday, and in the past 2 or 3 days, as well as the inauguration of the land reclamation projects in Toshka El Khair.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi ordered a comprehensive review of the national projects to solve their problems, calling for the participation of the private sector in development processes. He pointed out that the state does not aim to profit from the projects it establishes, but aims to provide production and employment opportunities and generate income for the citizens. During the opening of the national projects within the Upper Egypt Week activities, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that it is very important to achieve self-sufficiency in industrial products and clothing at the same international standards and quality to provide job opportunities, hard currency, and increase the domestic product. President al-Sisi ordered to assess all the projects that have been established and the size of the projects that are actually operating, and monitor the obstacles to solve them. The president explained that the state is investing 6.2 trillion Egyptian pounds on projects across Egypt, and the cost of establishing facilities for 24 industrial zones is about 6 billion Egyptian pounds. He stressed the importance of providing technical training programs for workers in those areas and facilitating movement and funding for citizens, while putting forward ideas for action according to the nature of each governorate. President al-Sisi also ordered that the investor be given all the privileges in order to obtain low-cost financing, with the state helping in marketing. He said that the small industries will not achieve wealth, and that the integrated model that the state is working to present in the industry is capable of success in light of the global development.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Mr. Khaled Abu Heib. Of course, as I said in the beginning, that tonight we will be focusing on the support of the political leadership to Upper Egypt, as we did see the week entitled the Upper Egypt Week, as we did see in the past 2 or 3 days, and all the way leading into the new year. Going into the new year, supporting Upper Egypt, why do you think the political leadership is focusing and supporting Upper Egypt now?
First of all, Happy New Year and happy holidays for you and for your audience worldwide.
Yes.
Today we'll be talking about Upper Egypt and Toshke, which is a very sincere matter deep in my heart. If we just want to start first of all to identify what's Upper Egypt and how it was and what's its important to Egypt. Upper Egypt was always classified as a national security issue to Egypt. And it's been a long time overseen. And as the president just said, we're trying to catch up with what we missed in the past. Upper Egypt is very underdeveloped and very high, used to be very high in unemployment. And when we see the acreage of Upper Egypt in the River Nile and in the New Valley, it is double the size of the inhabited part of Egypt. Just to cut it short and say it honestly and out loud, it was a big job of the deep state to hold always Egypt to the back. If you go back in maybe 20, 30 years, Upper Egypt was always labored by the place of terrorists. And the place where supposed to have 2/3 of the antiquities of the world was the place where tourists were terrorized.
Yes.
And we're supposed to be like the basket of the fruits for Egypt and for export was always undeveloped. It was always a very big question mark. Why? Because if we really, and if I could tell you that in our last episode here, less than a month, I said here in your show that if Egypt wants to start really to develop, we need to start by Upper Egypt and to start from Qina. And as if we were reading from the future, and it's happening right now.
Yes.
The importance of the high dam, the importance of Toshke. Let's start from there. Because Toshke, as it's the gate for prosperity for Egypt, it was broadcasted and it was framed as it's the failure project of Egypt during El Ganzouri. And God bless his soul. He was a great leadership. And God bless President Sadat's soul. He backed him up in that project very heavily because it is the only way for Egypt for prosperity. It's through Toshke and through that project and through the new valley of Egypt. Going back to the geological formation of that area, we know all the River Nile coming from Aswan till Cairo. But there was another branch for the River Nile, starting from Toshke, going through the New Valley up till Qatar Depression. And this were millions of years, and it is very, very fertile land. So the problem is to get water to that area.
So it's not desert land.
When you go to the New Valley, you just scratch the surface. There is water, and there is mud over there. So it was the second branch of the Nile.
The origins of it.
Yes, and actually it was the main river was going through there.
Not what we have today.
The one we have here was the secondary one. So the idea was from building the high dam from the beginning. The Toshke reservoir was built and was mapped as after 20 years, when Lake Nasser is fully filled, the water is going to start to go to Toshke again and start forming the new delta of Egypt, going through Al-Kharga, Al-Dakhla, Paris, and Douche, and all of this area through the old Nile Valley. And when in 1980, when the Nasser Lake was completely completed and full up, it started to overflow in Toshke. started to happen. And definitely there is a lot of people in the area doesn't want that to happen to Egypt. Courageously, we did have he was the Minister of Planning at that time, Ganzouri, and he said, we need to do Toshki and we need to reclaim that area. It is the natural expander for Egypt to be over there. And to start extracting the minerals, the real treasures of Egypt, and try to build a real prosperous future. And he started Toshka with the same time starting developing the Abu Tartur phosphate mining, which has at that time 1.2 billion confirmed metric tons of phosphates. This was only enough to pay our debt triple and quadruple. And they started and they made the railroads from Abu Tartur to Safaga to start to develop Upper Egypt and to start a new era in Egypt. Fortunately, he was removed. Then came 30 years, we all passed through it. He was prime minister. He started that project again, and the project was completely closed. Taking that water, not going through Turkey, and we started to have the problems in the sources of the Nile in Ethiopia. This water was supposed to go through that river over there.
So this could have been one of the solutions.
It was the main solution for Egypt. And it was just from the deep state again. It was killed where it is. It started saying, oh, it's a useless project, we cannot do it. And even he lost the government because of that project. Then he came again, I think, 2012, 2013, but he didn't continue.
But now we have a new republic and a new mindset.
The importance of this happening now is what? Is that it is not where the president now is not saying we're going to do. We did.
Yes.
It's completely new vocabulary. We're not listening to anybody.
More actions and less talking.
We're not listening to deep states. Everybody has shut the mouth. We know what we're doing. This Toshka project, and which can be reclaimed, and the water going over there, and resurrecting this project, it is immediately, you are almost doubling the size of the agriculture land of Egypt. It's a no-brainer.
Of the whole of the country.
The whole of the country. You can imagine, Tushka is south of Aswan. You can reclaim from south of Aswan, from Tushka to Dush, to Paris, to El Kharga, to El Dakhla, to Farafra. This is over 1,500 kilometers. All reclaimed area, just need water.
So from the south to the middle.
Yes.
Towards the west, a bit towards the west?
Yes. Which is the old the river over there. If you want to say the Nile, I
the
don't
branch.
know. Yes, the branch was over there. So what's over there is a no-brainer as an expenditure for Egypt. And if anybody says against that, he is just against the will and the good of this country. And again, God bless Mr. Ganzouri's soul, God bless that soul, and long live our President Sisi and what he's doing. The point is, today, President Sisi is putting his hand on one of the most difficult issues in Egypt, which is Upper Egypt. Okay? For the first time...
In every aspect. It's not just about the land reclamation and the agriculture.
It is land reclamation, agriculture, industry,
technology,
healthcare, technology, and for dignified life through the schools, through everything. This is a complete revolution by all means, and it's a new republic by all means happening and formatting that space.
And this means that people over there in Upper Egypt, they don't have to leave and relocate to Cairo or Alexandria or other major cities within Egypt to be finding job opportunities. They stay there and they have more job opportunities, more money to spend, and better lifestyle, basically.
Absolutely, and that's what we were saying in our last episode with you. And actually what's going to happen, it is a reverse migration from the major cities back to Upper Egypt and back to this new reclaimed area. Tell me, why is an investor sitting here in Cairo and not going over there? In our lifetime, it was a trip of hell going in the train from Cairo to Aswan. Now, on 1st of January, is going to be the celebration of the last old carriage of train is going to be lifted over. It's completely renovated. So I can travel by train. Now we have Asyut Airport, Sohag Airport, Luxor Airport. I can go to Aswan Airport. I can go to Wadi Gidid and come back in the same day by plane. What's this? It is almost like I'm in New York and I want to go to Washington, D.C. or Boston. I'm going to take the 6 o'clock shuttle in the morning. I'm going to go and come back. This was never ever heard about in Egypt. And that's what the businessmen need. I need to go over there. I need to finish my job in ease and come back.
On the same day?
On the same day. And this is all what is needed. And now with all of this new infrastructure being happening, not only the roads and the highways, which is great for the logistics, but most importantly is the network and the fiber optics, which is going through over this. It's 5G generation. So if I want to make a Zoom meeting, I can make it. If I want to transfer money electronically right now, I can do it. It is a completely new era, completely new republic. It's a completely new type of way of living in this area. And definitely the people in the major cities will think seriously to move back or not. I don't say move back, is just to go and invest in these areas as long as the transportation is available for me to go and come back in the same day or next day. I have some good state to stay hotels, motels, whatever it is. And also if I need any services like medical emergency, if I want to stay over there and have schools for me or for my workers, it is there. So this complete renovation, or I don't want to say resurrection of this area, is astonishing and is just taking me. I'm so glad for what's happening.
Mr. Khaled, you mentioned the former Prime Minister Kamal Al-Ganzouri,
God bless his soul.
Yes, as did President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi himself today during the inauguration, during the activities of inaugurating the land reclamation projects in Toshka. He paid tribute to the former Prime Minister Kamal Al-Ganzouri. What does this mean for his family, for his supporters who believed in this idea back in 1997 and even before that?
It is you're just bringing goosebumps to me because this gentleman, Dr. Ganzouri, was very well underestimated and very highly attacked by the deep state for his projects not to go further. And you can imagine the president right now have the courage to make things done. Could you believe if this was happened 30 years ago, where have we been right now? The things which has been done in Turkey, there is an airport over there just for export because it is pure organic plantation happening over there. How many millions and millions and millions, or maybe billions of dollars were wasted not following the plan of His Excellency Dr. Al-Ganzouri. Dr. Al-Ganzouri was a very well devoted person to his country. President Sadat believed in him. He believed in the country. And sometimes tribute comes years later. But how it is right now with the new republic and the President Sisi is complimenting him in front of everybody in Egypt. People even forgot Dr. Ganzouri, but this was his dream. This was his dream. This why people, the deep state, fighted against him. People fighted against him and go to the records. They even throw him out of the government to kill that project. And he paid it, and he left the government, the prime ministry, and left. And the project was almost killed. And God bless the President Sisi bringing this back to life. and giving hope to everybody who loves Egypt to work. And this is a great message. You just love this country, do what needed to be done. Down the road one day, there is somebody who's gonna come and really pay tribute to you. It's the head of the state.
Yes,
and it's a new
exactly.
republic. And to be mentioned today, and his name back in the papers, and we speaking about him, what a great honor.
Yes, exactly. From the vision of the late former Prime Minister Kamal al-Ganzouri to the vision of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as we did see in the past 7 or 8 years, we saw progress and development,
Yes.
goals for the future, goals for 2030, for 2063 in terms of Africa. Yes, we do have several plans in several fields, in several places and regions within Egypt, and for Africa, and for the Middle East, and for the Arab world.
And they're all happening same time.
Yes, how do you see the vision of President al-Sisi? Because every day we see a new layer of it, one in agriculture, one in terms of land reclamation, the recycling of water, water treatment, building, the manufacturing, infrastructure, building new cities, having a new capital. How do you see this vision in a very short space of time? 7 or 8 years, that's not a big load of time.
When you love your country and you have peace, as His Excellency said in his word, if you just have peace between you and the Lord and you have good intention, God will make the ways and make it happen. And that's what's happening with him and between his hands. These plans which you have seen, and all these roads and all these bridges, is not planned today. This is 30, 40, 50, 60 years of planning, but they were all in the drawers.
Blocked. They were just blocked.
Nobody had the courage to bring it up. Nobody had the courage to stand again and again, I'm going to say, against the deep state.
Except for now.
Except for now. When they wanted to stop him, he said, okay, I'm going to make a bypass. You remember it 3, 4 years ago when he used to say, Kamel ya Wazir, I want it to be done. This was the bypass. And now we see it. And he started to do it not only in transportation and ITCs and
the instructions are still the same, but in a different field.
Okay, we want to do it with the Army Corps of Engineering today. Now, His Excellency Field Marshal General Al-Far. We need to do this. How many months do we need to do it? Okay, leave the deep state think what they want. Leave the deep state say, oh, we want to stop this. We don't know. He cannot do. No, guess what? No, we will do it. So, and that is the result. And it's very good that it is every day we woke up on a new thing. It's not saying I'm going to do. It is done already and it's been opened. So everybody starts, okay, so what's next? What's next? What's next? So, and that's so beautiful for the people and give so much hope to the youngsters all over the country, and especially in Upper Egypt. They are very, very well underserved, and with this, it's a
they
great
have
boost.
So much potential.
Yes, yes, yes. And I was surprised to see over the phone that there is a flash sale for airlines from Sohag Airport to Dubai for New Year. I said, what? From Sohag to go spend the New Year in Dubai and come back? It's not Cairo. What's going on? Yes. It's things like that is going to happen. So it's by all means, it's a new era, it's a new republic, it's a new future, it's a new dawn for Egypt. It's a completely new dawn. What he's doing right now is the real dawn of Egypt, of the new republic.
Yes, it's a new vision of
Definitely.
President al-Sisi, but it is also accompanied by a work rate of His Excellency President al-Sisi, as well as the political leadership and Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the cabinet as a whole.
Definitely.
As well as the new mindset. This mindset of success and succeeding as soon as possible.
Thank you for saying it that word.
Yes.
That's what exactly I wanted to say.
Yes, this
Thank you for
mindset,
bringing it up.
it is very new to us. Egyptians for a
We
long
never heard
time, we
about
didn't have that. We didn't
Yes.
have the mindset of success. I want to get this done as soon as possible for the people, for the potential that we have to be building for the future and to be bringing the future now.
Yes, it is. And you can see the future.
But do you think that the Egyptians themselves, they have the capacity of keeping up with President Al-Sisi, even in terms of dreaming and the vision?
That is one of the characteristics of a great leadership. It is that he's not only going to the future, he's going to the future and beyond. And I feel so sympathetic for the people who cannot comprehend what he's doing, because 30, 40 years ago, we were not taught.
They're not
think.
used to it.
We're not used to it. So, but what is beautiful is that when you start to see like the teenagers right now, 14, 15, 16 years, 18 years, they start to comprehend what's going, and they start to react with what's going on and take it as that is the norm. This is the future of Egypt, not the elderly. This is the future. Oh yes, he's doing this, we're gonna do this. Wow. These thinking as if you are in the West and thinking about the country. It is happening right now here. So God bless His Excellency, God bless Egypt, and it is outstanding what we're seeing.
Do you think that the Egyptians are not used to the pace of work, to the pace of achievements, that we have seen that we can't comprehend what is happening? Because as an example, Toshka in 1997, that was the main thing back then in the 1990s, the project of the next 5 years, for example, the next 10 or 20 years. But we can see that major projects are being implemented and executed in less than 2 or 3 years, maybe even in a year, like the new Suez Canal, for example. The magnitude of those projects, we're not used to this, are we?
I'm gonna say opposite to what you're saying. Actually, the Egyptians are used to it.
Not historically.
Let me tell you, maybe in your lifetime, but in my lifetime, when you see that person whose land was taken away, and we have the whole canal against us, and this farmer, illiterate person, take revenge on October 6th and cross the canal again and take it over and stand up against the American army and be victorious. This is the real Egyptian. And let me tell you something. We're talking about Upper Egypt. Said, when we were young, who built the Heliopolis? It's the people from Said, from Upper Egypt. They used to go with their feet and all of this across the thing, carrying everything 5, 6 floors. When you go to Saudi Arabia, when you go to Kuwait, when you go to the Gulf, who built it the first time in the 70s? They were the people from Upper Egypt. You want to tell me these people who can do all of this cannot do it in their own land? No, but there was no hope for them. Everything was totally controlled.
So the problem was maybe in the past 30 years.
Yes.
That's it. So speaking of the same day, as we can see, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Upper Egypt, in Toshka today, he also ordered a review of the national projects that are happening all over the country, and specifically for Upper Egypt. How can this help in more development and progress for this field?
This is a really serious talk, which meaning that we're gonna again re-evaluate it. So projects like Toshke and the agricultures and what needed to be done over there regarding irrigation, regarding the movement of the people to this area, is now going to take priority. So this is a great step, and I hope that the people who are in charge of this are really honest with what they're doing and do it the right way, because it is a defining moment in the Egyptian history right now. Really, we can move out of the bottleneck, going to Tushka.
The narrow delta.
We are out. We are out. We are out. We are over there. It is full of treasures: agriculture, sand, phosphate, gold, uranium. You name it. You name it.
Everything. Yes.
All of this need to be. All of this need to be coming out from Upper Egypt. Let it come out. So definitely to reevaluate the plans and this is a defining moment, truly.
Yes, turning to the United Nations, hailing the efforts of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the political leadership, not just in Egypt in general, but in Upper Egypt. To be specific, we have more information about those statements in the upcoming report, so stay tuned.
The United Nations has listed the Upper Egypt Local Development Programme as the best practice to achieving results towards 2030 SDGs. The UN said that the programme supports the government's efforts to develop Upper Egypt, where development has lagged behind, by improving the local business environment. This has spurred private sector-led job creation and strengthened local government capacity to deliver infrastructure and services. The programme provides results-based financing in Heib, Minya and Asyut governorates, integrating citizen and business engagement for greater local accountability. In 2021, the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs listed it as an example of best practice among development initiatives aimed at meeting the universal targets set out in the UN Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. The programme has been also included as a key contributor to the government's programming for the fiscal year 2018-2019, fiscal year 2021-2022. Egypt's population passed 100 million in early 2020, with one-third of it in Upper Egypt. Yet the region falls behind the rest of the country in terms of economic growth, generating employment, connectivity to markets and access to quality services. Since its launch, the government has sought to redress this lagging development. The program has financed infrastructure and services responsive to local needs, introduced an integrated approach to local competitiveness, and enhanced citizen and business engagement through a participatory process. Citizens, including women and youth, are involved in the selection of investment projects through regular consultation. The World Bank Country Director for Egypt said that the program was creating an environment for evidence-based policy reform and the industrial reforms essential to improving the competitiveness of lagging regions and to empowering local governments to address community needs and priorities.
عايز اقول لاهلنا في الصعيد وللمصريين اللي بيسمعونا لما تم انجازه في السنين السبعه اللي فاتوا دول ده
Welcome back. Still watching the daily debate. Mr. Khaled Abu Heib, as we did see in the past report, the United Nations hailing the efforts of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, of the political leadership in Upper Egypt in the terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, because we heard a lot about the Sustainable Development Goals in Egypt in general, but this time in Upper Egypt it seems to be recognized globally by the United Nations. What does this mean for the plan that we have, the vision that we talked about before the break?
Okay, for the United Nations to acknowledge that, and the international organization, it's just telling you that it is overdue for many years. And it just telling and hailing the presidency, President Sisi, His Excellency, for his courageous move to open this big national security, which used to be a big threat to Egypt and a big can of worms. They tackled it, they put the solutions, they worked hard in it, and they work in every dimension and aspect to completely resurrect this area again. And we're not talking about a city, we're not talking about a town, we're not talking about a village. Just look at the map. It's over 1,000 kilometers of towns need to be reconstructed, reclaimed, refurbished, and bring it up to a humane standard of living. And this all is happening and will be done within 24 months. This is by all means a miracle. This is by all means need the acknowledgement of the international organization. Egypt is very important for the world. We need to know and understand that. And for us to be underdeveloped is a very big headache for the world. The world need much more from us. So for us doing this is a great sign to everybody in the international arena, for the business people, for the financier, for the investors, for trade, for politics. Just God bless Egypt and God bless its presidency. You just look around you, to the right, to the left, to the south. Anywhere you look, there is a problem, and we are the only people who are growing and steadily and sustained. This is a great message. And this message which His Excellency President Sisi is doing is definitely is going to be taught to the other country to be followed. Africa has to follow what we're doing. The Arab countries has to follow what we did. See what Egypt did during Sisi times, and you have to do that. So it's turning out to be a phenomenon. It's turning out to be a model of things how to be changed. So definitely, it is worth the recognition by all means.
As in this week, we are focusing on Upper Egypt, as is the political leadership. How do you see the national project for developing Upper Egypt? How did the idea come up, in your opinion?
The idea of developing Upper Egypt, as we said in the beginning, and we all know, it's been trapped in the drawers for so many years. It needed a courageous person to take a decision. We're going to do it. Like the same thing, I always go back to the biggest thing in my lifetime, which was 6 October. We're going to cross the canal. I don't care. We're going to do it. So it's the same thing. It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. It's the same farmer you have on your screen who crossed the canal and beat Israel and beat the American technology. He is the same person right now said, you know what, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And he's doing it. The president know the core of the Egyptians. And he succeeded to bring that spirit back again. And that's why the people are working 24 hours. You go to any highway around you, you go to any desert road, you'll find cities and people are working 24 hours, day and night, working. They are the same people who were sleeping, sitting on the cafes, doesn't want to work. They are the same people. He succeeded to resurrect this soul again and this spirit in the Egyptians. You need to take things in your hand. And they did it. And they're going to succeed in it. And I am praying for him and for Egypt to may God bless him and protect him till we finish what we need to go through, because we owe this to the new generation.
Yes, and we will be seeing in this fiscal year, or between 2021 and 2022, about £93 billion injected for the development of Upper Egypt. How big is this number for this field?
Wow, this is a real big number, and I know definitely there is plans for this, and when they are well spent,
Yes.
especially with the infrastructure. This is going to be a completely, all Egypt, it's going to be all at the same level. You want to live in Cairo, you want to live in Alexandria, you want to live in Qina, you want to live in Sohag, you want to, there's a good education here, there's a good education here, there is a good health system.
The same standard for everything all over the country.
Everything all over the country.
Yes, exactly. Mr. Khaled Abu Heib, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well.
Same to you and same to your audience. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
We will be leaving you with a report, getting all the information about the Decent Life initiative in the past year, in 2021, focusing on Upper Egypt and the achievements that took place in the past year. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.